You mentioned journaling, and journaling something that almost everyone that I talk to on this podcast is saying that this is something that they do regularly or once a month or have some sort of practice. Do you have any sort of regular journaling practice if it's just stream of thought or anything at all?
Yeah, there's been times where I've played around with this where I guess, there's the daily journal, which I have done for some time where I try to do it every day. I don't always. And I forgot is it the 5 minute journal, where there's like the three prompts, like things I'm grateful for or what would make today great. Like the one that Tim Ferriss popularized through whoever it was. So that I've definitely tried. I don't actually have the actual journal. I just have the questions written out and I just do it. And one thing I realized was writing by hand, even for someone like me who's all about typing and digital, I just find like there's a difference in when you're writing by hand, because one, you're away from the devices, but also there's just like a flow of like something coming out in a pen that sounds like poetic, but I think that's a genuine thing. So that has helped me, when I do that, it makes me remind myself and take a moment of the things that I'm happy about and grateful for. I think the thing with that sort of stuff is it's a little woo woo, right? And I'm not that woo at all, but I try my best at least to take stuff that seems a little woo and it's a little embarrassing to even talk about for some people, but just trying to take the good out of it. Like writing 3 things I'm grateful for is a good thing. Like it doesn't mean I'm like changing the universe around me. I'm just like remembering at that moment, like, that cup of coffee yesterday was banging, or like the conversation I had with my parents for an hour, zooming on Google Maps to their home in Lahore, was like something I'm going to remember for a while, and just taking that moment helps. That's one part. The other part is, I didn't even know or call it journaling at the time, but since I was like 16, I've written out like, yearly, like stuff that I want to focus on and stuff that I like, reflecting on that. And then there's one other thing that I did, which was I ended up kind of rewriting the questions for myself. And I think it's like 10 or 15 questions where when I was at a transition point, that was another sort of journaling exercise that I did. And it was questions like, what are activities that I do that make time pass by like really quickly or whatever? What are things that people come to me for help for? And then it was like looking at the past and the present, and then kind of journaling about the future. So those were like a few of the ones that I've used. What about you? Have you got any that really, really helped you?
Yeah, actually, my brother just got me for Christmas. In addition to this poster right behind me, he also got a 5 minute journal for me. And it was such a thoughtful gift. And he's been using it for the past 6 months. So it's something that I'm going to start playing around with. I honestly haven't picked it up yet. But sometimes what I like to do is morning pages, which is just stream of conscious, 750 words, get everything out of my head. And I find that really helpful to just get myself back in realizing this is what I was thinking. This is how I'm thinking. So yeah,
Yeah,
those are
love
some
that one
things.
as well. Yeah, for sure, man.
So we've touched on your depression, kind of skirting around it. We've touched the topic, and I'd love to go deeper on this because it is something that I've experienced firsthand as well. And just